Yo, I'm at home right now, and the place, or like the distance to get to my school takes like 40 minutes, but I got class in like 15 minutes. Yo, but like, I'm in bed right now, okay? Yo, there's this manga that I read. It's something called like He Who Doesn't Believe in Fate, and it's essentially just this manga that talks about there's like a main guy and a main girl. It's a romance manga, and it just talks about how there's this guy that meets this girl in college, and he could see the red string of fate, and he falls in love with this girl. However, when him and one guy and then the girl with another girl, like, they meet on like some like double date type of timing, they end up finding out that they weren't meant for each other, and that like the main girl was supposed to go with that random guy, and the main guy was supposed to go with that random girl. But like, bro, like, I feel that like what makes this manga so amazing and why I'm even making a video about it in the first place. Like, I've been really interested in reading mangas recently, but like, bro, this manga was like, what I love about this is that they weren't, even though they were heavy believers in fate, then like, I love how the authors managed to depict like, because the main guy, like, his personality, bro, like, I'm telling you guys, like, yo, if you guys are watching this, like, yo, I highly suggest you guys read it. It's a really short read. It's still ongoing, but to be honest, I ended at chapters, it's like 17.2, and I feel like that was like probably the perfect end for it. But like, the guy, he was not like, he would always be saying things to her, because the girl was a person that heavily believed in fate, and the guy was like, oh no, yo, like, I don't believe in that. But the main reason why he was saying that he didn't believe in fate was because since the beginning of time, he was able to see the red string of fate on every single person. But the thing is that even though he fell in love with her, he didn't see the red string of fate between her and him. So he was like, nah, yo, I don't believe in fate, because like, I'm in love with you, but our strings aren't attached. So now, like, that's why I keep telling you, like, fate doesn't exist. And everybody else around him really just can't see the red string of fate. It's only him. And for some reason, the red string of fate, even though it gets attached to the finger, it's not like something that's bound to a person like forever. He visited like the girl's house when she was sick, and then after that, he was like tugging on her string while she was falling asleep, or like while she fell asleep, and she noticed that like he could loosen it up. But the thing is that like, he didn't want to do that to her because he loved her so much, to the point he was like, nah, yo, like, I'm not gonna try and change fate just for my own like selfish desires, because the guy cares a lot about her, and even though he takes into consideration his own feelings, he would prioritize the other girl's feelings over his, so he didn't tug on the strings. But and then after that, like, there was a day where the girl, the random girl, and the main guy that have the strings attached, that went to like that like double A type of thing, they ended up meeting, and he kept looking at their strings getting attached together, and while she went to the bathroom, he started like tugging on his own string. And then after that, like, he was so focused on tugging his own string, he didn't notice the girl coming up behind him, and she grabbed him by the arm, and then ended up pulling the arm towards her. But then after that, like, he was already like tugging on the string, but him pulling his arm ended up just completely undoing the string. So then after, I was like, bro, like, okay, like, what even is this string supposed to be about? Because he just doesn't have it attached to anyone anymore. And then after that, like, what I love about this manga is that, bro, like, now he wasn't, like, in a way, he triumphed over his own fate. He didn't let that little string get to him. And like, they went to this fortune teller, and like, this fortune teller like was like, I'm pretty sure knew like he would, even though like he kept insisting towards the girl, like, and now your fortune tellers, they just want your money and all that. Like when she told when they visited the fortune teller, the first time he was like, "Nah, it doesn't exist." Second time, when the girl brought the guy over, and after she was like, "Nah, you just stay outside. I'm gonna go inside." She gets his fortune. She gets her fortune told. She comes out. She's all like embarrassed or whatever, and then the fortune teller herself, she comes out and she talks to him, and she was like, "Oh, yo, like your string is undone." And he's like, "Yo, what do you mean by that?" It's like, but like they both knew what they were talking about, and the main girl was confused. But in the end, they end up confessing to each other, the main guy, and the main girl. And during this time, there's this period of time where the girl, the main girl, like wake goes to sleep and wakes up one morning, and then after she's like, "Yo, like I could just start like she just starts seeing the red strings of fate on everybody, just like the guy just like what like how the guy was able to see the entire time." But after she saw, like what I love about this is that the author or the manga guy was like, "Oh my god, yo, like the main guy is my soulmate or whatever." But the thing is that like the way that the manga panels were shown, you were never actually able to see their strings attached together. Okay? And like there was never a manga panel where her string was attached to his hand. You get what I mean? But like it was heavily insinuated. She kept saying like, "Oh yeah, no, this guy's my soulmate no matter what." And then in the end, they end up getting into a relationship. And then after that, like throughout the entire time, you see the red string of fate on her slowly dissolving and getting loose. So then after you're thinking in your head like, "Yo, like what's going on? Like isn't the red string of fate like the girl said herself like, nah, yo, like this guy's my soulmate." And we don't, even though we don't see the two hands together and the red string of fate like tying them together, it was heavily insinuated. So then after that, we're like, so if you looked at the close detail, because it wasn't like really like shown like purposely, like you could just, it's just the type of thing like you just notice if you really pay close attention. But the string on her finger was slowly starting to dissolve and starting to get really loose. So you start thinking to yourself like, yo, no, like is something bad gonna happen? But then after that, in 17.2, bro, I don't care if I'm spoiling everything. Like, oh, it's just such a it's probably one of my, like this is probably one of like just the best like mangas I've ever read, bro. Like I just read it this morning, or like this afternoon, we could say, and like yeah, this is worth not going to my calculus class for. But like, bro, she ends up like setting the mood with this guy. Yo, they end up kissing, and then she was like, "Oh, like I do believe in fate." Something like, "I do believe in fate," and that but I do believe in fate, but even if like because the name of the guy is Fuji, so the name of the guy is Fuji, so she was like, "Oh, even though I am a believer in fate, whether or not Fuji is my soulmate, my feelings would have triumphed over all of that," or something like she said something like really poetic. And then after that, we saw the hands like in that panel like finally together, and we saw that Fuji, so the main guy, never had like since like since we saw in the previous chapters that he undid his own string. We saw that we saw that the string was never even attached to him, even though it was heavily insinuated that something happened. The strings were never attached. The girl's string was never attached to his. And then after that, like as they were kissing, you could see the string on the main girl's hand slowly start to dissolve. And then after that, he ended up pulling on the string while they were kissing. And then after that, ended up undoing the string for her. So now both of them don't have the string. Like, I really hope you guys understand that, bro. Like, you know, if you guys are listening and you guys are like getting as excited as I am, and if you guys aren't here, you guys don't even read it, but like, bro, like, it's such an amazing manga. Like, it was like the details are so like low key, but at the same time, like, so powerful. And that just goes to show that, like, bro, you could really beat the odds. Like the moral of the story is that, and I feel that what makes it so beautiful is that like you shouldn't be bound to whatever fate that you believe you have. Like the thing is that what I love is that like even though the guy kept saying like, oh, I don't believe in fate, I don't believe in fate, but it's just because he saw that the strings weren't attached to the girl that he was in love with, which was the main girl. Like, but the girl was a heavy believer in fate, but it's because she didn't see it, the red string for a while. So it just goes to show like how much, how deep the feelings ran for this girl from the main guy, to the point that like he saw the red strings of fate, so he's supposed to believe in fate, but like not. He's like, no, I don't believe in fate because our strings aren't attached. Like yo, that just goes to show that like no matter what, like yo, love can just really just triumph over all, bro. Like think about it. Like I feel like I've just been thinking to myself like I don't know. I've just been like I even said this in the past video, but like I've just been really happy as of late, and you gotta realize that all of this just stems from love. Like as long as you just focus on love, and it doesn't even need to be in a romantic sense. It's just love for life, self love, love for just the environment and just the things that you have, and just the people around you. Like bro, like love can really just triumph all, and I feel like that's what the author was trying to teach, or that was in the essentially just the entire morale of the story. Currently, when I'm recording this, it's at chapter 17.2, and that chapter ended up with them like kissing, and the strings of fate getting like untied from the girl's hand, because we saw it getting untied from the guy like a few chapters earlier. But like, bro, that was like one of the most like I don't know, like I'm pretty sure I'm recording this video. I'm pretty sure like class just started. Um, but like, bro, like, and I'm just in my bed. Uh, but like, I don't know. In my opinion, like, yo, this is like when it comes to my time, this is probably one of the most like valuable trade-offs for my time. Like instead of showing up to some random college class, I'm in my bed reading a manga that just like I don't know, it was just so beautiful too. Like I don't know, like it was just so beautifully written, and just like and yo like manga artists, bro, they spend like hundreds of hours, and like they take so much time just to write like 100 to like 200 chapters. But like bro, this author just made 17 chapters and managed to tell such a good story, bro. Like it was just amazing. Like I would say like even though I don't really watch I haven't really watched anime in a while, and like mangas I only started reading like as of late, bro, like I would place this probably in like my top five, no, top three like just manga or animes, bro. Like this was just an amazing like 17.2 chapters, bro. And if you guys are interested in reading it in the manga, it's like it's something called like I said the proper name in the beginning of the video, but I'm pretty sure it's something called like He Who Believes in Fate. Just search that up, and like if you guys don't see it, you'll just search it up in Google, and I put like He Who Doesn't Believe in Fate red string manga or whatever, and you guys are gonna eventually find it. But like bro, like if you guys stuck around to this video, bro, like thank you guys for listening. I don't know, I just found it very inspiring, and I was able to learn a lesson, and not necessarily a lesson, but I was able to learn the morale of the manga, and I feel like I could carry along with the rest of my day, like just like I don't know, just for like with a newfound appreciation for love. Like my love for life has just been rendered even more deeper just from reading this manga. So yeah, bro, like hope you guys have a good day. Thank you guys for listening to this video. And yeah, bro, just love, okay? I'm gonna see you guys soon. Also, like the last video I was talking about, like the podcasting, it's still going to happen, okay? Like just give it a bit of time. I'm just preparing. Like, bro, it's gonna be amazing. Like, yo. Wow, I'm so excited for everything, okay? You'll see you guys. Bye.